Yeah, it's fine. There's a lot of concrete sealers out there. And what you want to use for that is, I use like a densifier, penetrating densifier type.
I've been using the really inexpensive stuff. The rolls, not.
Yeah.
It's usually real inexpensive. Wait 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Inside, you'll see these cans. Cans are very valuable. They're worth about 25 grand. Believe it or not. There's also brochures in there that we'll send you to take one. There's also going to be business cards that we hand out. So with these 3 items, you got 25 grand in this can. He didn't realize. This will also be in there. These are really nice brochures for your customers. You can put your business card in the back if you want to flip it on, or we can give you a file, design your own, and put your company name on it. They basically have a list of the products with all the name, what we're doing. We have a special decoding division here. But basically, this is you have that. You have my business card. The reason why I have my business card is myself. This stuff is so easy. It just came out of this. It's a takeoff of a product that we've had for 10 years, constantly making it better. We're able to now achieve this wet look that everybody wants. You see something for their money. There's products out there that make it natural. There's products out there that don't stabilize joint sand. There's products that do. There's products that do. We have it all in this can. Provides a protective barrier, very, very strong stuff. In fact, I have to do some more testing when I get back. We're actually having a problem getting this stuff off our glassware in the lab. So, this was a strong push for the last 5 months. Engineer on staff. It's actually Hero Technologies. He does all the specialty coating stuff. And he's got 48 years of coatings. He's a chemical engineer, not a chemist. And he's got 4 citizenships. So what we're able to do is we always have samples to send out to you guys. We wanted to do something different, and I thought that since this is you have to mix a A and a B part together. That's our biggest seller. It's phenomenal. We're not trying to get you to buy this so you don't have to mix. That's your decision. We made it so simple that a lot of guys are switching over to it. You guys won't. It depends on the job. So we decided to get these little dabber cans where you can go out and put a little paper and say, Mrs. Jones, let me put some on the paper. The guy called me back and he says, I got a good job. I said, you need another can? Oh no, I got a lot. So this can, I'm telling you, if you don't make $25,000 out of this can, you got the can, you got the brochure, do the thing while you're talking, show them what you want. When they see it, they buy it. I'm going to show somebody something. I'm not going to give you my money unless I see something. If you don't get the job that day, they're going to come out the next day. The first thing they're going to do, they're going to come out and look at it. After they look at it again, it's pretty, they're going to call you. So this can's really been working out well. And I'm telling you, it's $25,000 in this can. We didn't know it when we were doing it. We're just making this convenient for you guys. So with those three things, the brochure, my business card, and that can, you can go out and get a job. That's all he says. After you get the job, call me if you have a question. But basically, we all know how to clean. So we're going to clean the pavers consistently. We're not going to miss any areas, because when the pavers are wet, you can't see what you missed. This can be applied. Our other claim to fame, we were the first ones to take the industry, turn it upside down, and make money, and provide the customer with not a bucket of stuff off the shelf. The stuff that you're buying at Lowe's, that's stuff. Right. It's just stuff. It's buckets of marketing margins. They are marketing companies. All of them are marketing. I didn't realize it. When the website came out, I bought every fucking thing there was on it. And it's better the website, worse the product. They're marketing companies. My whole life, I never realized this. All these labels, I call them politician labels. 5-year, anything tells me 5-year warranty, 10-year warranty, I walk away. Fucking bullshit. Most of it's bullshit. Just maybe a couple. Some of our stuff is 30. We're talking aircraft, marine, and it's true, it's scientific. But so I said, "Wow, opened my eyes up." So we didn't want to do that, and we created. When I was in the ceiling business, it was 35 cents a square. Today in Florida, we're getting $75 a quarter square average. Denver, they're getting $250 to $350 a square. Certain parts of California, even in New York, Jersey areas, $250 a square. Good money, $3-4 grand a day. These guys are getting. I'm in and out of 1,000 square feet in 2 to 3 hours. At $1 a square, it's $1,000. 300 material, so fuel, bullshit, sand, sealer. So I got 300 max. So I got 700 left. If I did it in 2 hours, I got 3.5 an hour. If I did it in 3 hours, I got 200 and change. There's good money. You're only making $100 an hour sometimes. But still, what American dream is out there that's left? Go out and rent a pressure washer and get a bucket of, even do asphalt sealing. It's one of the few businesses that sealing and pressure washing. You can rent one and go into business. Make good money. Just clean the houses. A lot of guys have done it. This guy's doing millions of dollars a year. So this organization helped him. There might be a guy doing the speech who was ready to go bankrupt. He was up and doing the wrong thing. He went through Charles and a few years ago, and now he's doing it. Pretty cool. So, I myself made good money, and again, to survive it, I wasn't making any money. You had to use solvent-based sealers. Sorry. And you had all this downtime. All I did was drive around all day waiting for things to dry. And usually I would get a call back anyway because it would turn white. Just not compatible. So again, we were able to take that whiting issues out, the downtime out, and I was able to come in and clean, sand, and seal the same day. I believed in the chemicals doing the work and the equipment doing the work. So I had great equipment. I actually built a motorized, I had a 4-speed forward, 1-speed reverse power washer. So hose reels, tank, and everything. I drove those son of a bitch around back. So I drove back in the truck. It was great. And then I was a tool and die maker in my heyday in machine design. So we designed and build our own pumps and spray systems. Great little system, cheap. And it'll put out a gallon a minute. They run on 18-volt batteries when they're charged. Your sealing goes very, very fast. So that system, and of course you have to get the business. You can make a nice living, and it's really not that hard. dragging hose. The biggest thing is you're carrying a 46-pound bucket of sealer or a 35, 40-pound bag of sand. So it's really not that bad. I'm 70 years old, coming up in September. I can still seal. I did 6,000 square feet myself. It's about 64 years old. One day, long day. Made it with headlights to it. Made a lot of money. 6,000 square one day. They've done 100,000 square feet projects in 8 days. Crews. Made, 60 cents a square. You're making some serious money. Guy in here is sealing 30,000 fascia on the side of the building. We do buildings with this stuff. We do wood fence as well. I put tint dyes in here. Do my neighbor's fence. It's still good 7 years later. You can do a lot of things with this stuff. You don't have to. There's a lot of pavers out there. There's a lot of concrete. So basically, our system is to clean it, sand it. We developed a wet sanding method. There's a video going on inside. And basically, it's just using I had a 5.5 gallon unit at the time. It's going to move a lot more sand than a 4 gallon. 8 gallon, of course, is going to move a lot more. You get them?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Sure.
Thank you. We got enough, maybe a little enough juice to do something. Right now, these conditions are very bad. You can see the way this sealer is not setting up properly. You see it? This is we're putting it on straight. For one thing, you got to be careful putting this stuff on straight. You want good condition. The pavers are cold, so they're not sitting up and flashing. So we're working in conditions that we shouldn't be sealing in right now. I would want these pavers to be, maybe 12 o'clock today. They're warmed up. Now we got some heat with this. Surface is conducive to the coating. So right now,
temperature that's used.
Well, 50 degrees, but the substrate's got to be warm.
Yeah.
And in the sunlight. So you don't want 50 degrees in shade and damp that day. You know what I mean? So that day you might need it to be 80 degrees in the shade to be able to seal that substrate.
When the sun comes out, will it take that away, or is
that'll streak up some. You'll see some of it. We were brooming this around. So what I did is, since this is 35% solid, this is very thick. So if I was doing this in these, if I had to seal it in conditions where I was pushing it, I would dilute this down with water and watch it. And you got to baby it. But, why do that? Why, just work it in good conditions. Don't push it. You're better off going to the bar some days. I'm telling you. Some guys push. But we're used to that. But this will clear up. These pavers that came in, these pavers came in yesterday. I'm going to talk about effervescence a little bit. This is what, you can pass this around, this is what pavers looked like yesterday when it came in. That's very high, that's secondary effervescence. Yeah, pass that around. We treated these with, thank you. We treated these last night with effervescence cleaner to get this.
Before you're sealing the picture?
Last night, yeah. Yeah, that was, you might have to push that on.
In the pressure washer business, where does the seal come into play? Or your sealing, where does it come into play in the pressure washer business?
The customer that has pavers. Yeah, we have to tell them that you're doing it too. You got your book of business. If you've done jobs already and Mrs. Jones has pavers, you can now provide that service. And just, Mrs. Jones, we're doing sealing now.
Sealing makes it looks fresh.
Well, yeah, you provide that wet look. So you take your can, your $25,000 can, a little one. They don't cost me. It's still make you money. I love these cans. Again, don't ask me how it happened, but it happened. So it was meant to be. My mother-in-law said, battle axe. But anyway, pretty bad, huh? But this is what people get. They buy the pavers from the manufacturer that's giving them a beautiful brochure. it's sealed, and they wet it down, and they take the picture, and then they get these pavers, and they say, I didn't order these pavers, I ordered these. I'm sorry, Mr. Jones, it's a cementitious product. It's in our warranty. We're not responsible for effervescence. So that's good. I love effervescence. Gets me in the door. Next thing you know,
Which is basically this, right?
Oh yeah, this was bad. This was secondary. Reason why this was bad, you can see we actually did not get it all out because again you have to wait for the pavers to dry. But you'll notice
that sounds good, Hillary.
it's like a ring
Thank
in
you.
the paver.
Bye.
And what it is, it's the migration of the calcium carbonate, which is effervescence, that when they sit in a pallet for a year or 2 years. It's the migration comes up in it. It's the outside pressure, I don't know. But anyway, it migrates up. It starts out as primary, where you have just a clouded paver. Then it gets into secondary, where it's been palletized. Very hard to get out. And we saturated this with acid last night about 3 times. In fact, that paver right there has really got it. That third one in. That's bad. So that will, right now, this might look great for a while, but it might take a month, but that'll come back to haunt you. It'll come back. Anything that you try to mask or hide, about a month it'll come to haunt you, especially if you don't remove another coating that you should have. It may look pretty.
So what would you keep doing to that?
We'll keep treating with the acid, effervescence cleaner. But again, it's a catch-22. You're starting to wear down. You'll start developing this aggregate, these white spots. So as you're wearing, the acid's removing the calcium carbonate, you're also wearing that nice cementitious pigmented paste off the paper. So there's catch-22. You can only do so much without that catch-22 damage.
You can't guarantee the customer you'll get it all out.
Correct. Yeah, because you can only take it so far. You know? Yes, everything has its.
Do you get like the wicking effect? Like, does it kind of pulling up, continues to pull up through?
Well, this paver or concrete will cycle this. It's calcium oxide. Hydration becomes calcium hydroxide. It wicks up, Mother Nature, wicking up, it hits the carbon dioxide in the air and creates calcium carbonate. Without calcium carbonate, the oceans there would be nothing living in the oceans. That's how important calcium carbonate is, but we hate it. It's in concrete, and it's an ugly, ugly thing, but we got to get rid of it. So that paver will keep doing it until it either exhausts itself or it calcifies in the capillaries and locks it up. And that's probably what happened here. So again, sometimes treating these and treating them and the acid getting back in the capillaries, if it opens up the capillaries and you got dormant calcium oxide sitting in there, the next day it could be worse. And that's effervescence. That doesn't happen too much, but we treat effervescence very fast. We take an insoluble powder, we hit it with the acid, and it fizzes like Alka-Seltzer. As soon as it stops fizzing, which might take 30 seconds, 20 seconds, we water it down. We throw water in. So we took the insoluble, made it soluble, and now the force of the pressure washer, we can get it out that's embedded in there. If I leave the acid there, I'm doing 2 things. I'm burning the paver, top, and I'm also possibly opening up those capillaries again. So that's the trick. We'll do a small section at a time. Fizz it, water it, get it out. All right? You have to learn. It's part of your toolbox, that effervescence plan.
Typically at least a 2-man job.
Yeah.
No.
Now the other guy's going to really hold your hose or drag some shit around.
That's what my guy does now.
That's what they do.
I don't like
They get in
dragging
your way. They're in my
Get
way.
on the dirty work. All right, go.
I don't know.
All right, roll it up.
Rich, I got a question for you.
Yes.
I'm all right with
What
that.
is your go-to
That goes with me.
stripper for prepping? Like somebody's already had them sealed before, starting to fade, or they used a certain solvent base that you want to pull up. What's your go-to stripper before you're gonna
We have a stripper called BioStrip. It's biodegradable. It'll pretty much take anything out or off. But there's plenty of strippers out there. I don't like the methyl chlorides. They're carcinogenic. So watch what stripper you buy. A lot of them out there are functional. Some of them are very dangerous. I mean, they'll cut your legs off, just about burn your legs off. But they work. I actually use those. And now we have a very gentle. You can wash your hands with this stuff. You can put it on the night before. You can put plastic over it, leave it sit all night. Let the chemicals do the work. You can put it on that morning, leave it sit on for a couple hours. The reason why I'm saying that night and that morning, don't do it I don't care what stripper it is. Don't do it at 2 in the afternoon when the substrate, especially in the summer, it's hot, it dries up the stripper faster than the stripper can be functional to penetrate through the coating to lift it. So conditions, again, are important. Do that in the morning.
Question, you put the stripper on the day before, or that, do you let it do its thing? Do you go back and then rinse it or before you put down?
Oh no, you're either using a turbo nozzle or preferably a hot unit, at least a 5.5 gallon hot.
But you put the stripper on, then you go back in and clean it and then apply this? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. You can do everything. Well, you could do everything in one day.
No, but I'm just wondering before once you put the stripper on, the second process before you put your sealer on.
Oh yeah, you have to get it off.
Well, if you
and you're doing that with a turbo nozzle, or
well, you're going to do it with typically use a surface washer first.
Okay.
And then go back and use a turbo nozzle on some of your tough spots, because if you just make a mess if you're going to turbo straight stripper off of your favors. And typically it's not a one. The ones we do, it's typically not a one-step process. You typically have to put it down twice. So, but if you use that method, you'll eliminate some of the second stripping if you let it sit overnight. I mean, if you don't have 4,000 square feet that you got a visqueen or plastic out or whatever, then you can cover it up and then come back and, like you said, let it work in there. And you may only have to do it once at that point. We typically do things. We try to do them in the same day. So you're going to go through more. You're going to go through more stripper because you're trying to get it done a little faster.
Are you typically putting down plastic over top of it after you put it down? Whether
We're not
it's the same?
typically doing that. No, we have done it, but we don't typically do it.
Put it down and let it sit.
in between?
I mean, you'll be able to tell right away. I mean, as soon as you surface clean it and then turbo what you need to turbo, I mean, you'll be able to, as they dry, you'll be able to see the difference, because you're getting water to penetrate in the ones that are stripped, and you're not getting the water to penetrate in the ones that are stripped. So you'll be able to see still a haze or imperfections in it. We have to do, I'm in Florida, we have to do a lot of pool coatings. So a lot of times the sealer will wear off of the paver pool deck, but it won't wear off of the coping because the coping is more dense than the paver, and the guy who sealed it before put too much sealer on the coping. So I would say 70% of the time we got to strip pool deck. So that gets a little tricky because some of that coping is either vertical or upside down.
Right.
So you have to put it on, put it on, put it on. So, but it takes time to work because the stripper's literally, eating that sealer, and you want to pull it off, and then you got to clean it off. Hot units help. We typically use a 4 nozzle on an 8 gallon a minute. Turn it all the way up.
200 or whatever.
And go to town. Yeah. But the turbo nozzle sometimes will make a mess if you're doing it from the raw stripper.
Now this is kind of tacky there. How long ago was this applied, and how long will it stay tacky?
You got fluorescence. I can explain it, but
We'll find out.
I mean, is it hours or is it a day, or?
It's very fast dry.
Yeah, it's usually a couple. I mean, in ideal conditions, it's usually a couple hours.
Yeah, this stuff's even faster. It's dried to the touch in 5 minutes.
If somebody screwed up and walked on it, is it going to be like shoe prints or something on there, and then you got to go back and redo it?
It's rare that we get a footprint on a paver, but you would on travertine or a denser product. You'll see footprints in the light, the refraction. So you might, on this paver with a thick coating, if you're doing a thick coating, you could see a footprint, but you would have to see it in that light refraction. So, but we walk around on the sealer all day. but while it's wet. If we think we're getting to the tack stage and we can feel it, we'll just dust a little sealer on past our footprints. So we never had a footprint problem. The guys doing second coats on travertine, which they shouldn't be doing, they'll walk on and sticky. Now you're using 2-component urethanes, and then they think the sealer is going to cover up that footprint. It's enhancing it.
Right.
Well, they got a big mess on their hands to satisfy the customers. That's tough stuff to strip. But back to the stripping, it depends. Most of the times, because that job is screwed up, is they got a lot of sealer on it that's bad, and they keep putting more on it to fix it. And again, it looks good for a month, and it turns whiter and gets worse and worse and worse. So that's why a lot of times, if you put too much stripper on a coating, you're wasting the stripper. If you don't put enough stripper on there, you're stripping it twice. So there's that fine line and that sweet time of when to remove it. So the best thing to do is do small areas, learn about stripping, but do a small area, and especially before you bid the job out. You want to, what's his name just got caught? Isaac. I forget how many square feet, travertine. 11 pails. It was only 2,000 square feet. It was there four or five times stripping this stuff. I think it was a siloxane penetrating sealer, and they put a lot of it on it. So he's green with stripping. He's got a full-blown trailer extraction equipment. I mean, the guy went spared no expense with his equipment. Boy, he had a tough time. Best thing that ever happened to him, because the good comes from the bad. I don't care what job you get jammed up on. It's great that it happened, because it ain't going to happen again. You're going to make a lot of money from that mistake. I'm telling you.
Yeah, if you're going to get into sealing,
So,
I mean, you need to play with the seal. You know, you need to get you some bricks. Put the sealer on half of it. Get 20 bricks and figure out, you know, what colors are going to make it. How many coats do I got to put on? How shiny is it? And then go back.
Yeah, do your neighbors' jobs first. Screw theirs up.
Them your neighbors, you never.
That was funny. We did. Of course, I did. I was the shoemaker with a hole in the shoe. But you know, of course, my pool deck got it. You know, my driveway. My driveway looks fantastic. In fact, we have this on it for 7 months, and it still looks fantastic. So basically, today's a great day because this is out now on the marketplace, and actually another 2 weeks we'll be in the pipeline for an additive that we can even lower the VOCs down more for also California. We're a very green company. We don't profess that though. We don't make money off of the green part. We are a green company. Very low VOC products. We do have now, if you want to talk about this word nano, nano means small. That's all it means. We've had nanotechnology for years. Everybody's coming out with this claim to fame of nanotechnology. It's just very, very small particles. So if you have a lot more small particles than fewer big particles, it's a much better coating.
What kind of money are you selling that package over there, the ply?
The pump's $3.99.
That comes with a hose and a wand, and
it comes with everything but the batteries. You gotta buy 18-volt DeWalt batteries.
Why don't you sell the battery with it?
Because I don't want to. I have enough shit to sell.
Yeah, but then you make the customer turn around. Yeah, but then it's a convenience deal. Now the customer's got to turn around and go find a battery.
If you want batteries, we'll put them in the box for you. But they have them at Home Depot.
Home Depot. Now I know they do, but I'm just, you know.
So we can't do everything. Well, we don't want to make We don't want to.
But it's only you got a DeWalt. You got to have a DeWalt battery to run it.
Yes, and a charger. And the reason why we went that way years ago is everybody had DeWalts. So we picked the most because we had to design the ports, the extrusion mold for the ports. So we went with that. We still have 3,000 ports. Now they went to the 20-volt slides. These are fine. They're still going to make the 18 volts. We may go to a rechargeable lithium in the future. Lithiums are getting a bit better and smaller. So when they come out with the right battery, with the right kind of a charger, we might go with that. The problem is with the lithiums, they shut right down. And then how do you, so if you're at the lady's house and the GFI is blown, you're jammed. So we're in thought process.
What kind of pressure will that put out?
60 psi, 1 gallon a minute. That's the fastest. The cleaning is pretty fast. The sanding takes the longest, the prep. We're going to blow it off with a leaf blower. Afterwards, we're going to make sure every paver, all the sand joints are correct, and it's prepped for sealing. It's like painting a car. The sealing at 1 gallon a minute, it's very fast because you got 65 degrees. I think that battery should be charged enough to show. You got 65 degree spray at a gallon a minute. Very fast, nice and consistent. You start practice with water. You got your overspray blade. And then you just run your blade with it. Don't get this stuff on anything. You can't get it off. If you get it on a painted surface, you're taking the paint off with the sealer, right? And you gotta fix that. They were painting garage doors yesterday. Don't get it on a car. The sealer carries in the wind. Chlorine carries in the wind. Guys got caught screwing up some cars.
Windy days, you gotta be careful. Windy days. Cars,
yeah, wind
doors,
carries,
garage
man.
doors.
I got a brand new black Porsche Carrera.
Yeah, we had
Traveled
to
in the
restore
garage,
muscle.
2 houses down.
Yeah.
This guy says to me, "Don't worry about it." I know him, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Travis says, "Don't worry about it. It's a lease." Wow. Lucky, man.
Is this the same way that stamped concrete would be finished on?
Stamped concrete's easy to do. Very easy to do. Comes out beautiful. But we're going to use a leaf blower because anytime you got natural stone or stamped concrete or this vinyl veneer stuff, you got low-lying areas. All your sealer coating's going to collect in the lower-lying areas. So you got measles, you got dark spots. At higher elevations, not enough sealer. Lower elevations, all the sealer, all the solids. So we use mechanically the air to blow with a leaf blower. We use a leaf blower a lot. We call blowing the sealer, and we also broom the sealer, which we did in this other one. You can see the broom marks here. This is starting out loose here, still tacked up. But this will give an idea.
Water over by the cooler for the
Okay, thanks.